All right, this is my 3D printer design for the globe that the gyroscope is going to be mounted into. Basically, you just have two halves here. Um, the dimensions of them, just for size, it's about 75 millimeters round. Um, so that's about the size of it. It's not a huge ball, but it's big enough to do the job. You have the top half here. Over here, you have the bottom half with this little rim in here. The rim is for the plate to sit down in there, so it sits level inside of this ball. And these two little tabs here actually lock the gyroscope in place so it doesn't move around inside the ball. And also I have a ½ ounce of lead weight in the bottom of this to keep the ball from rolling. I just want to catch motion. I don't want it to roll off the table and break. So it's going to be almost like a Weeble. Okay, so basically all we do is we take it on the side here. There's a little switch. And we will switch this to the on position. And we will know that it's on because there's a little blue flashing light there. So we will mount that inside here. And I'll leave the top off for now. Here is the app for the cell phone. This also comes with software for PC, but since it runs on Bluetooth 5.0, I had to buy a dongle for it, and it won't be here till next week. So I'll show you what the PC software looks like. I'll just connect it through a USB cable just to show you what it looks like. But anyway, once that's switched on, all you gotta do is push the connect button. I gotta enable it. It's gonna look for the sensor. There it is. I'm gonna turn it on. It's gonna pair up with it, and it's gonna connect. Here, take a second here. Enable the scanning device. Just give it 1 second. And then there's the device. And as you can see, if I rock it, you can see if I spin it in a circle, you can see that it. Here, I'll hold it over here so you can see them both in the same frame. If there's any kind of movement at all, I'll put the top on so it's a little more sensitive this way. Okay, there's different screens that you can look at, which is interesting, like the gyroscope screen, which is pretty cool. If you move it, you can see the X, Y, and Z axis and how it's moving. The ACC is the same way. It's detecting the motion, and if I stop moving it, it pretty much flatlines. Now it's still moving just a tiny bit, and you can see that. But it also has a pretty neat little feature in here on the dashboard where if you go to the 3D screen, you can set it up to a cube, and you can view the cube spinning or rocking and spinning. But either way, it's a pretty cool tool, and basically, like I said, it's like an advanced cat toy. If something moves it, I'm going to see it, and I'll be able to data log it on the software on my PC, which I'll show you here in a second. All right, guys, here's the PC software that I was talking about a little earlier. Right now, I have my device hooked up through a USB cable, simply because, like I said, the dongle's not here yet. So once that gets here, I'll be able to connect through Bluetooth, and it'll have a range of about, I think it said 50 meters, so it's got a pretty good range to it. On this screen, right now I have it hooked in, and it's, as you can see, the numbers are changing. It's working right now. This is the acceleration screen, so if the device is moving, here I'll move the device forward and backwards. You can see on the y-axis it's moving. That's because I'm moving it frontward and backwards. It has angular velocity, which is basically how fast the angle's changing. And here's the angle itself. And here I'm spinning the device a little bit. It has a magnetic field detector. So like right now, if I pick this up and I'm going to move it over to the speaker, you can see there's a magnet in the speaker. So there I moved it away, moved it to the speaker, moved it away. So it does detect magnetic fields as well. And this is the screen that I like. This is the screen that shows you everything real time. Over here it shows the system time up in the top left. The relative time is how long it's been running. It shows the acceleration on the X, Y, and Z axes. It shows the velocity on the X, Y, Z axes. It shows the magnetic field -9. On the Y-axis, the -190 is because the sensor is to the right of the speaker. So it's telling me I'm not sure what the 194 is as far as distance goes. It's probably centimeters. Right, so the minus is telling me that it's 196 to the right. Let me move it to the left here and I'll see what happens. Yes. And then I'm on the left of the speaker now. Hold up. There we go. So there's the right. At 195, 194. And then I'll move it over to the left-hand side of the speaker, and now you can see them in the positive numbers. So that's the left. The pressure down here on the middle row, second box, it shows the temperature in centigrade. It also measures barometric pressure. Now, the reason it's saying 0 is because it's calibrated right now, so it's going to detect any gains or negative changes in the pressure. And then the angle is that the angle of the three axes where the sensor is sitting right now. The quaternion neon is basically it's readings on 4 axes, to where the Q3 is actually a combination of all 3 axes combined. Now this does have options for upgrades for GPS and satellite connections, which I don't need anything that goddamn accurate. Over here on the right, you can see it's like an altimeter type thing. It's almost like an airplane control, so you can visually see how the sensor is moving around, and as well as a compass below. And then, of course, you can see the raw data, which is basically all of the data points that it's logging. Now, speaking of logging, the best thing that I really like about this is I'm able to record this sensor right now. We're just going to look at the magnetic field. No, let's look at the angle. So we're looking at the angle, and you can see I'm moving the sensor around from side to side to side. And then when you're finished recording, this can record for as long as you want it to record. So you just click stop recording. Oops. And I'm going to close the program up because I want to show you something here. The data that it logged is right in here. Basically, you can export this to an Excel spreadsheet, which isn't the reason why I want to save it, because you also have the ability to load the file, and they store them in the form of a bin file. And you can see that this total recording that I made is just 19 kilobits, which is really, really small. So if I disconnect my sensor and I start the program back up again, I have the option to load that file and play it back real time, which is nice. So basically what you do, you can see there's nothing connected here. So you click File. We're going to load the file. We know that it's going to be in the recorded file section. We're looking for a bin file, and it's going to be the last one. And then we click Run. And right here you can see that it's going to play it back here in a second. There's the angular field. Now this is the total recording that I made a while ago, and you can see it's playing back bit for bit, every little detail, which is nice because you don't have to use screen capture software to record all this and take up huge amounts of space. So that's a pretty good function. This is one of the things I wanted, is it has data logging capabilities, which is really important. And also down at the bottom, it actually has a timestamp that shows you when all of these things happened, which is also nice. Now, if I connect this back up here again, we're going to open that up. We're going to open it. Okay, we're connected again. Going to go to the main screen. Another nice little thing about this is like it's the same thing as the app. It has a a 3D viewer on here. Oh, come on, which is nice. You can look at a car. You know, you can have the shape of a car or a face or head, whatever you want to call it, an airplane, or this is what I like. I like the cube, simply because it has these long points and you can see any really small movements. So yeah, this is the software. This is most likely the screen that I'll be looking at most of the time. Maybe the magnetic fields as well. So yeah, it's a really neat little program here, and hopefully I'll have it ready for this next investigation that Don and I are going on here on the 7th, and we'll give it a shot there. So we'll see how it goes.
All right, one more thing before I go. I took some time and I centered the weight up in this ball and made sure that the gyroscope was in the exact center of the sphere. And I was really surprised at how long it stays in motion once it starts. Watch this. So if something starts this ball in motion, we are definitely going to know it because it moves pretty long time. I was really surprised by that. I guess I really didn't know what to expect as far as how long it would do this, but I certainly didn't think that it would last 15 or 20 seconds like it is.